Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm Reverend Deborah Johnson, Rev D. Welcome to Inner Light. Welcome to our virtual Sunday morning offering where we come in from near and far to just pause for that moment, to reflect, to remember the truth of who we are as spiritual beings. Regardless of where it is that you are, doesn't matter the time, doesn't matter the geographic location. We're all here together. It is not a mistake. This is a divine appointment. No matter what time you tune in, I know that there's something here that is a blessing. And I'm so glad that the labyrinths of our lives have crossed at this very, very moment. At Inner Light, we have a vision. And within that vision is you. Doesn't matter if I've never met you. What I know is that we're all on a path. We're all going to the same place. There is no other place outside of the divine. And we come here to sojourn more consciously. We come here to sow a deeper intent, to live up to our highest purpose, to discover that as we're going along. We come here to get the skills that we need in order to be compassionate, to get the skills that we need in order to awaken from the hypnotic trance that we are our stuff. Because we're not. Who we are is so much bigger and greater than all of that. At Inner Light, we embody spiritual oneness. We appreciate individualized expressions, the way that you uniquely show up as you. And we honor all paths that lead to spiritual truth, that lead to social justice, that lead to environmental sustainability and regeneration. Regardless of your path, we are radically inclusive. We have everybody up in here. We have religious folks, non-religious folks. We got atheists. We have vegans and carnivores. We have people who are apolitical and people who are staunchly political, all of it. Genders, full spectrum, family configurations. And you know what? That's the way that it ought to be. And we come here to figure it out. How do we all move forward here together? We offer tools for living. We offer tools that, if used, will help you recalibrate and to get back in step with the rhythm and the harmony of the universe. Sometimes we step to the wrong drummer. We get in with the drone of divisiveness. We get in with the drone of lack and limitation. And we come here to up the frequency, and these affirmative activations are like a tuning fork that we can readjust and hear that pitch, hear that pitch and show up differently. Okay. Remember, you're a verb. You're not a noun, you're a verb. It's not just life is happening at you or to you. Life is happening through you. Life is happening as you. So as we go over these affirmations, this is just to expose you to them. Come back. Come back. And even if you just pick one, just like one line, and really focus on that and really work that, I guarantee you that you will start to have changes in your life. Today, we're going to be talking about, is this what I prayed for? Really? Is this what I prayed for? That is our topic. So if you aren't all able to, I'm going to invite you to say the affirmations with me as they come on your screen. No camouflage can hide my goodness from me. Resistance does not blind me. I pierce through illusions and perceive the blessings springing forth. I am neither duped nor betrayed by the universe. All things are working together for my good, and I claim it as so. Regardless of appearances, I remain steadfast in my faith. Life is not a straight line. My possibility consciousness stays strong, even when there's a need to pivot. What looks like curves and detours is really divine design unfolding. Even when I don't get what I wished for, I always get what I need. Let that sink in for a moment. Notice if there's a particular line or concept that jumps out at you. Just keep breathing it in. Once again, I invite you to come back to it. Come back to it. Say it often. It embodies through repetition. Thank you. Let's take a breath. So I'm very pleased to invite in someone from our virtual community. I am pleased to have with us today Tatiana Tilley, who is coming in from the Bay Area in San Francisco. Hey there, Tatiana. How are you doing?
Good. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Yes. So Tatiana and I have known each other for a very long time. We actually met in the rainforest in Ecuador at the Peruvian border, I guess in 2011, I think it was. A special social justice journey with Pachamama Alliance, where we were all social justice activists. And we had quite a time with the indigenous peoples there in the Amazon. So I know that you, like people who are tuning in this now, you're on your journey, you're on your path, you have your spiritual practices. All of us are doing whatever that is that helps to ground us. And I know you've had those moments when you have asked, is this what I prayed for?
In exactly that tone. Yes.
Yeah. And what's usually going on in your mind when you're having to ask that question?
Well, I've worked really hard to try to reorient myself and my thinking towards realizing that I had some part, if not a major part or all the part of creating the circumstances for that thing to happen. So usually by the time I'm asking myself, this is not, I was not clear enough in my praying requests. They can be pretty intense times. So it is not it's not always easy to remember that the part I played in it.
For sure.
Yeah. The affirmations earlier that we were reading through, the one that stuck out for me was resistance does not blind me. And I apparently I love resistance. I love it. I think it's a very powerful force. There's lots of ways to use that. But to keep, I guess, keep the right relationship with it.
Yes. That's an excellent question. How do we keep that right relationship with that resistance? Well, thank you, Tatiana. I appreciate all the work that you do, and I certainly appreciate you being a part of this community. Thank you.
Honored to be here.
So just take a breath. Is this what I prayed for? You know, most of us have a tendency when we pray to think of our prayers as almost like a Christmas wish list, like God is Santa Claus or some genie in a bottle, and we're just rubbing it and we're saying like, bring me this and bring me this and bring me that. And we get awfully upset when that particular thing doesn't come. And a lot of times we don't really understand what's happening when we pray. We're thinking that I can just stay like this and you can bring me this thing. Like this magical thing is just going to come into my lap, whatever it is. An object, a relationship, an opportunity, a new perspective, a job, a house, like whatever that is. But that isn't really what happens. See, the things that we're asking for specifically are just symbols. They're just representatives of something else. Okay? So, for example, when I'm praying for the house, what I'm really praying for is the safety, is the security, is the shelter. I'm praying for a place to feel like I belong. You know, there's all of these essential qualities that are represented in that one particular thing. See, and then we'll get fixated on I want that one. I want that apartment. I want that house. I want that person. I want that job. And then when we don't get that particular one, there's a sense of being deflated or defeated. Like, what's the purpose? What's the purpose? And it isn't that we get nothing, it's there's something else. There's something else that shows up. And that something else that shows up may not exactly have been what we anticipated or even what we thought we wanted. As we're going through life, it's as though we're at the fast food lane and you get a little, may I have your order, please? And we're like, give me the Happy Meal. That's what I want. I want the Happy Meal. I want to feel good and I want to, be in my right purpose and I want things to be going well. And like, that's what I want. And what we forget is that there's a little journey between here and there. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. If you cut your hand, along that process to the healing, there might be some pain. It might get pussy. There might be some scabs or bruising. And if we were to just focus that and look at that, we would think the opposite. We would think, oh, I'm not healing. Look how black and blue I am. Where's the fresh new skin? What's all this little crusty stuff that's happening here? And that's all itchy. I want new skin. What's wrong with you, universe? I asked for healing. I asked for new skin. And little do we actually realize this is what we prayed for. because this is what it looks like to get to the new skin. We want to leapfrog over. What happens for us is that we oftentimes can't see the answered prayer, once again, because it's not packaged the way that we would like it to be packaged. When I look around now at our social political arena and climate in the United States in early 2024, sometimes I just got to breathe. Sometimes I just have to take a breath. Sometimes I got to go old school. I mean, back to my Pentecostal roots, like, Jesus, keep me near the cross, because I can be upset just listening to this stuff, and it's like just making me crazy. And I have to keep going upstairs. And oftentimes I have to remind myself, as much as I hate to admit it, a lot of this actually is my answered prayer. I can remember being so frustrated at how this felt like completely apathetic, sort of nonchalant people were about civics and what it means to even have the right to vote, how policies work, what does it take to make things happen. A democracy is a certain kind of a relationship that requires civic engagement. And I really used to wonder what in the world was going to get us engaged. And I look around now and it's like, maybe I should have been more specific. Because there's a lot of engagement that's going on, but it wasn't exactly what I had in mind. I thought the engagement was not that I thought it was going to be easy, but that all the engagement was going to go toward how do we strengthen? How do we create the more perfect union? How can we really honor like the principles of freedom and liberty and all these things that we've been talking about? I didn't know that the engagement was going to be going towards the opposite direction as well, that some of it was going to be about dismantling the anchors, about upending the rule of law and bending things towards particular theocracies. It's like, whoa. But here's what I know. Two things. What needs to be healed is revealed. Okay? What needs to be healed is revealed. Two, anything unlike where you're trying to go has to come up to be healed. Anything unlike it. See? So you hear me say all the time, if you say, I want to be unconditionally loving, that's not an express ticket into joyful relationships. When you declare, I want to be unconditionally loving, you just wrote a ticket. You just wrote a ticket to become familiar with all of the conditions that you are placing upon love so that they can be healed. If you can't feel it, you can't heal it. You cannot heal what you do not feel. So, in order for us to get to that more perfect union, it means that all of the sludge, all of the tensions and things that had been there, perhaps more dormant or uh, not having its full sway. Okay, but the contentiousness didn't come out of nowhere. It's been there. Okay, but we just haven't been willing to look at it. We haven't been willing to pay attention to it, and now we can. So, what a different story would it be if you were to say to yourself, you know what? This is answered prayer. I know it's a little bit crazy out there, but this is our ticket. This is our opportunity to finally get out of denial about where we really are as a society and what's really going on, and to have a chance to actually move forward, a chance to actually uplift the vibration. Listen to what I'm saying. We want too often for things to just fall in our lap. We want them to just happen. But the way that they manifest is when we recalibrate to its frequency. We have to become it. See, you can't just want to get faith. You have to become faith. You don't get to just have the love bestowed upon you. We have to be the love. See, peace is a verb. It's an interactivity that has to take place. So when we're praying, what we're really praying for is to be in alignment with that process. I'll often explain how the English language uses the same word for the end result as it uses for the process of getting there. So you have a building, but then you have the process of building. And you can't get the building without the process of building. You can't get the love, the relationship, whatever, without the process of love. And so this is with everything. We can't just have civility. We can't just have the beloved community without being the beloved community. The democracy is like a building. You can't just wind up with a democracy. You have to be it. Okay? You have to do it. So what we're praying for is to recalibrate ourselves so that we can become it. Just let that sink in for a moment. Prayer is a movement in consciousness. But newsflash, we're the ones moving. We're the ones moving. We think that our prayers are out there influencing and moving a distant deity to do our bidding, like the genie, like Santa Claus. But what your prayer really is your willingness to say, I'm willing to change. I'm willing to see things differently. I'm not just praying to try to get my way, but I'm praying to also be part of the solution. I'm telling you, answered prayer quite often doesn't come like anything that you thought uh, that it was going to be. I can think of all kinds of situations and circumstances. I can think of the woman who felt a bit estranged from her family, and she really wanted to be closer, especially to her sister, because there was just the two of them. They didn't have any other siblings. Lo and behold, came a point in time when her sister was struggling with cancer. She had two small kids, single parent, wasn't able to care for them. So the one who was praying to be closer to her sister, the last thing in the world she wanted to do was to raise kids. Career woman, just not on her agenda. It was okay for her to find a man in her mind, but she was really hoping that he already had kids, like didn't even want kids. So lo and behold, she winds up taking in her sister's kids. Changed her whole life around. And made her so incredibly close to her sister, who was able to get her health back, eventually get to the place where she was able to take her kids back and care for them. And this bond continues on. And in my conversations with her, I remember those moments when she was coming to that realization, even in the midst of complaining about all of this extra work and how it was cramping her style and all of the rest of that. But she really got to know her niece and her nephew. They were, I think, about 3 and 5 at the time. So they were younger and hungry for that nurturance and that attention. She's saying that how she realized at one point in time, is this what I prayed for? I didn't think it would look like this, but lo and behold, I'm closer to my sister now. I'm feeling closer to family. We may not always get what we want, okay? But we'll always get what we need. I love that about the universe, that when you really get to that point where now I want what's best for me more than I want what I think that I want. Okay. That I'm aware enough to know that I don't know. It's the most amazing thing, this thing called knowledge. We tend to think of the experts as the know-it-all. They are the perpetual students. Okay, they're always learning. And they're more aware of what we don't know. So, like an astronomer, for example, is acutely aware of what we don't know. Okay? Or a physician or anybody, a mathematician, you actually have to know a little bit about something to even be aware of how much you don't know. So it's humbling. Like I have learned and studied enough to know something, but enough to know that what I know isn't even a drop in the bucket. So I don't have as much arrogance as I did in my youth. I'm not as like self-righteous of just thinking that like I know or like I've got the answer. It ought to be like this. Instead, it's morphed. It's morphed more into possibility consciousness of I know it can be better. I know that the energy can vibrate at a higher frequency. I know that there can be more compassion or kindness. I know that there can be more um, aliveness. Okay, I know that. But what I'm not trying to do anymore is to predetermine exactly what that is and how it's going to look. Not my job. So, not my job. Okay? Because I don't know. I don't know what's right in your life. I can't tell you all that needs to happen for our highest angels to come forth in society. I don't know because everything is a process. But what I do know is that if you keep your eye on the prize, what I do know is that if you keep your eye on the essence and the spiritual qualities and you keep affirming that, then the circumstances and the conditions of whatever it is that you need to go through to get to that will in fact show up. It'll show up. Okay. You want that relationship, you want that unconditional relationship. Okay. Well, guess what? You're going to have to deal with some stuff with your mama. Just saying. Okay. You want that successful career. You're going to have to deal with the competitiveness you've had with your brother. Just saying. Okay. Then when those circumstances come up, we don't need to be, well, why is all this up? I'm focusing on my career. Why is all this nonsense coming up with my brother? You know, I'm here trying to get this relationship. Why is all this drama coming up now with my mother? I don't want to deal with her. I'm trying to get in this relationship. They're all connected. They're all connected. And those very things that you think might be getting in the way, they are the very things that are the portal to getting you from A to B. Just let that sink in. From A to B. It's the resistance that gets in our way. It's the resistance. But what we resist persists. What we're running from, we run into. So I want to invite you on a journey. on a journey of an awareness that the universe is really smart, really smart, and has a way of working things out. And when things are not going the way that you thought that they should be going, and even if they appear to be going counter, to know deep in your heart that all things are working together for my good. I may not see it now. I may not understand it now. But if I stay in judgment of what's happening, I can't get the blessing in it. See, we sometimes mistake and think, well, I don't want to get stuck here. I want to go over there. I don't want to be in this spot right now. But you know what? Door number 2 is behind door number 1. But you can't get to door number 2 till you go through door number 1. So door number 1 is part of your answered prayer, because that's what's going to help you get to door number 2. We don't have to think of door number 1 as a detour or something that's just thrown in our path. I get these downloads, I get these spirit letters, and and I remember that letter that said to me, "You keep thinking that people are in the way of your path. People are your path." That people are our path. And I promise you that if you just relax a little bit, okay, we're holding on, no, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this. It's just, okay, this is what's so now. This is what's so now. Okay. It's on its way to something. And what's in this now? What's in this now? I heard Lily Tomlin say not too long ago, she has such a dry humor. She said, growing up, I always wanted to be somebody. I guess I should have been more specific. Know that everything has rhyme. Okay, everything has reason. Every mountaintop, every valley, every seeming detour, even the gutters, they are a part of the journey. You can be pissed off at being in the gutter when you really want to be on the mountaintop, but you know what? There's just as much God in the gutter as there is in the mountaintop. Okay? And that if it's your real intent to know God there, then you'll find God there. Reminds me of the story that I heard in ministerial school about this wise man who was in a high rise, and he'd look out, park across the street, and there was a homeless guy that was kind of camped out right in his view. And he'd always get upset, thinking that this guy was spoiling the view. They both died about the same time. And the homeless guy goes to heaven, and the so-called holy man gets sent to hell. And he is not happy about that. And he's questioning, like, well, what the world's going on? And I love the response back from the divine. It said, every day you woke up and you saw denigration and filth that was ruining your view. The homeless person every day woke up and was looking up and saw you. Saw you and wanted that more than anything. Listen to the story. He didn't manifest it in the way that we would think would like take him all out the poverty and stuff. But he got to where he prayed for. He prayed to want to be like that in consciousness. So this choice is kind of always ours. Are we so focused on the things that we don't want? Okay. Or are we willing to be pushed by pain, yes, but allow the vision to pull us? See? Pain pushes until vision pulls. I'm not saying that pain has no place, or that pain is bad, or that pain has no purpose. Just saying that pain alone can't get you to the finish line. It can help motivate you. It can help jumpstart you. It can help point you to what it is that needs to be healed. But if you really want to progress, then you have to get to a point where you transcend the pain and allow yourself to start to be pulled by vision. See, the resistance, yeah, we need a little bit of that. There's no question about that. Even our muscles. You know, if you want to build the muscle and the strength, you have to have some kind of a resistance tension against it to keep it strong. Okay. However, if all we're doing going in life is going up against stuff, then we're not going to progress. Is this what I prayed for? Maybe. It just may be. I remember hearing Terry Cole Whitaker, Reverend Terry Cole Whitaker, saying a sermon once about this woman who kept telling her that she wanted a relationship and all these qualities and how she wanted to be unconditionally loved and all the rest of that. And Reverend Terry Cole looked at the woman and said, "You don't want a man, you want a puppy." And it really hit the woman. And she thought about it. And she went out and got herself a Cocker Spaniel and was just happy as a lark. Because that was actually what she wanted. She wanted that kind of adoration and attention and all of that. And she was spending all her time trying to manifest a relationship when what she really wanted was a Cocker Spaniel. And she realized at some point, oh, this is what I was praying for. Take a breath. And let's turn within. Pray. Oh, how good it is. How great, grand, and glorious it is to be a part of life itself. We give thanks for all of the wisdom. We give thanks for the joy. We give thanks for the aliveness. We give thanks for the truth. We give thanks for the grace. Because God's grace is truly, truly sufficient. We know that that grace comes through as all needs met in ways that we don't understand. And that's okay. In this moment right now, we heed the call to come up a little higher. We heed the call to come out from amongst the angst, the confusions, the places where our hearts have been hardened. We step onto a brand new day where we have the willingness to go for it. The willingness to transcend the past narratives and the stories that we've had about not enoughness. Who did what to whom or what didn't happen. We stand in pure possibility. This Lord is something better. We're not trying to micromanage the universe. As I speak this word in this moment, I say a prayer. I say a prayer of all needs met. Not just my personal need, but all over the world. I pray for the housing and the shelter, the safety, the security, the clean air, the nutrition, the food, the clean water, the opportunities, the fulfillment. I know it's possible. And this is where we stand. Thank you, Mother, Father God, for making a way out of seemingly no way time and time again. Thank you for the projects, the programs, the new collaborations, for the co-creative colleagues. Thank you for building the beloved community every place that we go. So regardless of circumstance or condition, we know that each and every person is a mighty portal through which the divine shine. Let it rip, let it shine. This is what I know. And so grateful for it, we just get out of the way. We allow it to be, and so it is. Amen. Oh, and amen. Just breathe that in. Let us stand with you in prayer. Let us stand with you. Speak the word for you, for your loved ones, for this great nation, whatever concerns are on your heart. Let us stand with you in joyous celebration and unleashing things that are birthing within you. Numbers scrolling across your screen, you can Give us a call at 831-465-9090 at extension 254. You can send us an email. The number 4, the word prayer, at innerlightministries.com. We got you. Got your back in prayer. Thank you. You can follow us on social media. You can get on our mailing list and check out our calendar. I just want to remind you that if you're looking in real time, today being March the 3rd, 2024, this afternoon, we have our monthly first Sunday of the month gathering at the Resource Center of Nonviolence in Santa Cruz, California. That's on Ocean Street. And I am pleased to say that that service is now streaming. It's now streaming, and you'll be able to find it on YouTube. And I think it's streaming on our Facebook as well. I'm not sure, but I know it's streaming on YouTube for sure. Our band is always there. Today, the guest speaker is going to be Kim Clark, and Heather Houston will be doing the music along with our band. It should be a lot of fun. And put it on your calendar that we're going to be doing a live, yes, I said live, Easter Sunday morning service. That's the last Sunday in March on the 31st. I think it's actually a 5th Sunday. And we will be at Temple Bethel. Yes, we'll be at the Jewish Synagogue. That's right down the street from where our center used to be on Soquel Drive, close to Park Avenue, at 10:30. Choir will be there. The band will be there. We're going to have a really good time. Our Good Friday service, and you'll find all this on our calendar, a Good Friday service will be at the Resource Center, where we are on the monthly basis. And that's 6:30, Good Friday, the 29th. A lot of things going on, and I hope to see you. I hope that you tune in. We love being in a community with you. And speaking of being in community, our time of conscious contribution, say thank you again to everybody that gives of your time, your talent, your treasures. You'll see coming on your screen are some ways and some opportunities that you can make that donation, make that financial contribution. You see there is a QR code. You can use that for any debit card, any credit card. And please consider the recurring option, where you have an opportunity for that particular gift to be given on a monthly basis, same day of the month. If you're on our website, there's a donate button that's right there. You might consider Cash App. Know that every nickel, dollar, and dime is going towards transformation, going towards healing, going towards our programs. And I am pleased to say that our February tithes for Inner Light Ministries, as I had mentioned a couple of weeks ago at the beginning of the month, our February tithes go to the organization Doctors Without Borders. They are doing such a fabulous job in so many hotspots around the world right now, and we want to show them a little love. Know that our every act produces abundance. We dare to give freely unto the truth that sets us free. We release this gift knowing it returns to us thousandfold, and know that your generosity returns to you. Thank you for being with us. And as always, take this consciousness and multiply it. See you soon. Like this, subscribe, pass on the word. Come back and check out the affirmations again. Till next time.